evening and welcome to Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles, and it is Saturday, June 15th, 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages, we have an interesting show for you today. First off, my apologies for being 15 minutes late, not having a countdown, and also apologies for not being on Facebook or Twitch. It appears that we are live on Rumble, YouTube, X, and Locals, though. I don't know what's going on between the communication with Rumble Studio and many of the connections that are supposed to be made. But yeah, I'm probably going to be. I'm pretty sure. I'm about 85% sure that the next show I will not be doing with Rumble Studio. I'll probably be using StreamYard again. And so therefore, yeah, Facebook and Twitch and Locals will have to go bye-bye anyway. Because, yeah, I've just been having problems. In fact, my antivirus was also flagging Rumble Studio as a potential threat. Apparently, their cloud server serving me images, my antivirus flagged it as a threat. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on there. But yeah, folks, welcome to the show. I didn't do my usual promotion because of the late stream. As you can see, I've been to get a haircut today, and it went long, and I still had some other errands to run afterward. And yeah, that's literally why I'm so late, is I had way too much shit to do. And yeah, that's also why I didn't promote the show. But we are live on Rumble, YouTube, and Locals, and X. Sanglan 86 in the chat over on Rumble. Not going to be drinking whiskey today because I have more stuff to do after the stream. So, drinking some water out of a Slim Chickens cup. Cheers and welcome to Sanglan 86 and anyone else out there watching. Cheers. Good seeing you. Oh, I didn't bring my dang coaster down here. My desk is going to be covered in condensation here in a little bit. But we do have a full show ready for you today. While I was waiting at the salon to get my hair done and my beard trimmed, I was hunting for content on my phone. So we do have a full show for you folks today. And let's get right in it. Let's get right into it. Let me go ahead and bring Sanglan's comment back down. All right. So first story of the day out of New York, we have Governor Hochul is considering a face mask ban on New York City subways, citing anti-Semitism. So, here we had New York, one of the central places that were promoting mask mandates during the corona. Now saying, yeah, maybe no more masks because, too many people are, committing hate crimes. Mayor Adams voiced his support and made a comparison between people hiding their faces and the Ku Klux Klan. Governor Kathy Hochul suggested banning face masks across New York's public transit system during a public safety briefing due to concerns about people shielding their identities while committing anti-Semitic acts. Sanglan 86 says, bring back the anti-Klan codes. Yeah. It's also during a week where huge portions of the state are under an air quality alert, and New York sees its largest COVID spike in recent months. The move, she says, will help deter crime. In a sweeping press conference, Hochul started by addressing two recent incidents that have targeted Jewish New Yorkers. The governor pointed to Tuesday vandalism at the home of Brooklyn Museum's director and a reported train incident the night prior where a group donning masks took over a subway car, scaring a rider and chanting things about Hitler and wiping out Jews. We will not tolerate individuals using masks to evade responsibility for criminal or threatening behavior, she said. My team's working on a solution, but on a subway, people should not be able to hide behind a mask to commit crimes. So vandalism at a home, I don't know what that's got to do with the subway other than maybe they ran away and got on the subway. Who knows? Hochul said she started discussion with Mayor Adams and state lawmakers about a mask crackdown. Previous state law banning masks in public was reversed in 2020 due to the pandemic, when masks became mandatory. You gotta love the Schadenfreude, right? You have to love it. So there's that. I'm not gonna belabor that article there. And I had to disable my ad blocker over on the New York Post. So this next story and the next couple stories here, the next couple stories might have some ads showing on my screen. So my apologies for that. So here we go. New York Post. Biden's EPA using clean energy cash to fund groups that oppose immigration enforcement. They just can't secure the border, right? They just can't. Biden administration quietly funneled $50 million in taxpayer funds earmarked for clean energy to two groups that opposed immigration enforcement. The New York Immigration Coalition and New Jersey Alliance for Immigrant Justice were partners to distribute $50 million of the $3 billion set aside in the Inflation Reduction Act for environmental and climate grants, the Wall Street Journal reported. Both groups' missions have nothing to do with protecting the environment. Instead, they adamantly support abolishing ICE, believe guarding borders is racist and classist, and want to block state and local government employees from cooperating with federal immigration officials, said Senator Shelley Moore Capito, Republican of West Virginia, whose office is probing IRA spending. She said her findings prove Biden's recent tough talk about cracking down on the border is just talk. It's hypocrisy and the highest, said Capito while speaking at a Senate Republican leadership press conference. It's very slack oversight at the least. It's very dishonest when you talk to the American public about the goals of a green climate fund are being determined by immigration justice and immigration coalition groups. Capito last month announced she found the EPA awarded $50 million from the same grant program to Climate Justice Alliance, a group that backs anti-Israel protests. The EPA did not return messages. However, the agency previously said the immigration groups and Fordham University, which was tapped as a grant maker, will take, quote, an intersectional approach to place frontline communities in positions of power to advance climate justice, quote, in disadvantaged and hard-to-reach communities and communities disproportionately impacted by climate change, pollution, and other environmental stressors. Climate change it's part of their woke religion, right? It's part of their damn woke religion. That's what we're being told. We have to spend $50 million to be inclusive of one aspect of their woke religion inside of another aspect of their woke religion. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You don't see conservatives, right, saying, "Oh no, we have to end the Fed because abortion." because the Federal Reserve Act has disproportionately affected women who are seeking abortions. You don't see Republicans mixing their messages this much. That's why it's a religion. That is why it's a religion. Okay, so also from the New York Post. This one has had the women on the internet loud and usually I try to stay away from sports and celebrity talk, but this is going a little bit viral because of the implication, right? Because the internet has the opinions that the internet's going to have. This next article has went viral because of you know what. You'll know why as soon as you see the headline. We have Bill Belichick, 72-year-old Bill Belichick dating a 24-year-old former cheerleader. Belichick has a new love interest. The 72-year-old ex-Patriots coach is dating 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, who's formerly a cheerleader. He's been linked with Hudson since shortly after splitting with his longtime girlfriend Linda Holiday. Page 6 reported Belichick and Holiday called it quits in September after over a decade together. And this is Jordan Hudson here. This young lovely lady here. There they are together. Aw. Look at that. Look at that. One of Hudson's former cheerleading teammates said Belichick's love story began when they met on a flight from Boston to Florida in 2021. The two bonded over a philosophy project Hudson had been working on and exchanged contact information after landing, according to TMZ. Belichick was seen at March at a cheerleading competition, foregoing the NFL Combine. And according to TMZ, he was there to watch Hudson. Oh, oops. I accidentally clicked the Tom Brady story. Damn it. Hudson attended the Tom Brady Hall of Fame induction alongside Belichick this week. Look how perky she is. She was also reportedly present at a number of games in Gillette Stadium in 2022 and 2023 seasons. The coach was spotted on what was clearly a date with an unnamed brunette in Boston back in this March. It was unclear if he was out with Hudson. Ex-Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski appeared to joke about Belichick's dating life during Netflix's Tom Brady roast last month. Coach, you used to talk about... what the hell just happened? Okay. My browser just exploded. That's funny. I like accidentally clicked like the body of the text and the whole tab just exploded. Let me see if I can reopen closed tabs here. Hey, there we go. Did it work? Yeah, here we go. There we go. Okay. Belichick's coming for my computer. That's awesome. Kevin and ABQ, shout out. Cheers to Kevin. Welcome. Again, not drinking whiskey today because I have too much to do that require me driving. Okay, so here we go. Coach, you used to talk about Foxborough High School when we sucked, Gronkowski said back then, but now I know why you're so obsessed with Foxborough High School. You were scouting for your new girlfriend. Belichick, after 24 seasons in New England, parted ways with the Patriots January after winning 8 Super Bowls. So, yeah, man, they do look cute together. I will have to say that's a cute photo of the two of them. And, yeah, he's an old man. He's a 74-year-old man. And so the Twitter debate, obviously, and we're gonna oh, click the wrong thing. We're gonna look at the Love Don't Judge for the week. It's not gonna be an age thing, but you know, so many of the episodes of Love Don't Judge, you know, they deal with you know, May December relationships or whatever, and you know, people tend to have the same take. You know, you're just with him for his money, and you know what? This is one instance where I'm like, okay, yeah. I don't think anyone in this situation might be in denial about that, but also, you know, a Hall of Fame NFL coach probably does have some brain processing power, and if she's recently went through college, you know, having someone like that in her life to kind of mentor her through, you know, this kind of jumping into adulthood phase of her life, you know, I don't think it's quite an evil thing. Like if I was doing it, like if it was me, which shout out if there's any 24-year-old beautiful women who watch this program, feel free to shout me out. But it would be creepy if I did this. It would be very creepy if I did this because I have nothing to offer that generation. At least he has money and some experience in a very competitive field. Okay. Anyway, so there was a shooting today. Let me go ahead and bring this up from the USA Today here. One man killed and a child hurt in a shooting at a Maryland high school during a little league football game. So we're gonna play guess the community these people belong to. Do we need to play that game? Because whenever there's a school shooting, people like to play that game of which community these people belong to. A man has died and a child is injured following a shooting at a Maryland Little League football game on Saturday. Shooting happened at Potomac High School in Glass Manor, Maryland, 9 miles south of Washington, D.C. The Prince George County's Police Department currently investigating the scene. Around 11:20 a.m., the game was being played at the high school. Two people in the stands got into a verbal altercation. The altercation escalated, and one of the individuals taking out a gun and firing it at an adult male and a 5-year-old child, Chief of Police Malik Aziz said during the press conference on Saturday. The man and child were transported to local hospitals. The man later died from his injuries. The investigators are talking to other individuals associated with the decedent. What is important to know out here today is that these two individuals did not appear to be strangers to each other. They appeared at this stage to know each other and bring some issues that occurred outside of this game brought into a game where young people, 7-year-olds, were playing a football game, enjoying this beautiful day with their families. Aziz also said this event was to benefit someone who's battling a life-threatening illness. The child is still in the hospital receiving care after suffering multiple gunshot wounds. USA Today reached out to the police department for comment. Police department asking anyone with information to contact Prince George County's police homicide unit. According to an eyewitness account reported by WUSA, a coach said that during the play he heard shots. Sangolin 86 said, unsecured gun-free zones are a blight on the U.S. Exactly. Why only two people were hurt? I mean, I guess those are the only two people that the guy had beef with. But so do we want to guess the community? I mean, this is the high school's website. Anyway, I'll go ahead and stop sharing that. Okay, folks, let's do this. Let's studio media. Let's talk a little bit about the ongoing story of our PSYOP, thirst trash, shit posts, and grifts. We've been kind of, the last few episodes of Mild Culture Plate, we've been talking about this Lily Gaddis individual. And I'm going to go ahead and continue the story. There's been a new twist in the story, folks. There is a new twist in the story. So this is thanks to at AF Hasbara on Twitter here. The base conservative inward girl is a single mother, right? So here she is. Apparently she has some brand accounts on the internet where she's selling, baby merch. And this is and so this is a screenshot from an account on TikTok or Instagram, one of the two, with this "It's a Baby Bits." So that's clearly her. That's clearly her. And then then AF Hasbro says, this baby doesn't look white. Which, I don't know. I've seen some pretty crazy looking white folks, right? Right? I've seen some pretty crazy looking white folks. So, there's only one thing we can do. There's only one thing we can do. Shout out to Lily over on Twitter. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, shout out. So this is your new conservative grifter. And we've had half the internet defending her for being such a conservative. Yeah, she says like it's cringe. Okay, so yeah, continuing. Okay, let's take that off the screen here. Do studio media. Go away, go away. Okay, so I really should just change the. Oh, Hans Diamondball says, "Hey, can we stop doxing babies?" Are you talking about me or the internet, or are we talking about this individual, this single mother who decided to use her child as a grift? Because yeah, I would agree that yeah, these single mothers should stop. Like I get it, being a single mom's hard, and you need to make some money, but you know maybe if you want your baby to be a damn a model. Okay, yeah, okay, he said this lady. Cool. So yeah, I should really change this whole segment, this whole viral videos thing, and maybe I should just do a whole sub segment instead of calling it psyop shit post grifts, and thirst traps. Maybe I should just do a whole like segment of the show dedicated to women in cars, because yeah, I've noticed there's this theme on my show of I like responding to women in cars. And so let's see what this woman has to say about her financial situation.
No, because it's the way I have a literal master's degree and I'm on my way to interview for a serving position. Because in this economy, as a post-grad Gen Z, I cannot afford to start a career on a first-year salary.
Okay, hang on, wait a minute. Okay, so she says, I've tried so many jobs in my field. That's what she's about to say. I would love to guess the field, but I don't want to be wrong here. But master's degree, okay, master's degree, and she's tried so many jobs in her field. Okay, let's continue to listen.
Tried so many jobs in my field, and every single one I've had to take money out of my savings to pay my rent. I don't know whose fault it is, but damn.
Wait, if you can't pay rent, if you're having that much problem paying rent, then how do you have so much in your savings? Like, is someone else contributing to your savings account? Like, this is what's confusing.
Why is that the case? Anyway, my current job, I work at a Fort Lauderdale Beach bar, and it's open till 2 in the morning, and it's killing my quality of life. I'm trying to go work brunch. No. Do I want to work brunch? No. Any single time I talk about serving on here as well, they're like, oh, if you don't love it, then don't do it. Girl, I tried doing what I love. It doesn't work out for me.
Okay, so you were given two options, right? You built a trade, you built skills, right? And then life kind of showed you that you were more successful at using these other skills. And yeah, there's the whole proverb of uh, do what you love as a career, and you'll never have to work a day in your life or whatever. It's platitudes. It's bullshittery. Do what you love, but do it with so much passion. Craft it. Look, this is why getting master's degree. This is why going to a 4-year college and going into super debt to do it. Like, that's really what's going on here. Did Biden pay off your loans, young lady, or you having to pay some insane minimum payment that's never going to bring down the interest. And that's really why you can't afford rent. I'm not saying don't ever go to college, folks. Let me just be very clear. I'm not saying don't ever go to college. But when you're going to college, take a look at the market that you're trying to get into. Look at that job market. Look very fucking closely at how in demand those jobs are and what they pay, and whether or not that balances out with what you're going to be left with student loan payments and housing costs and things like that. You have to think fourth dimensionally, as they say in Back to the Future. You have to think about your future. That's why college is a grift. That's why ultimately, look, I was offered a partial scholarship myself, and I was like, no, I'm a single father. Fuck, I can't do this. Like I the money that it would have cost me to go to school, the time versus just going to fucking work and providing for my kid, yeah, I couldn't do it. And a lot of people have to make those sacrifices. I wanted to be a teacher, but ultimately that didn't work out. So I wound up, in a trade. Maybe you should try it, lady. Or maybe, just be the fucking waitress.
Name one person who is a waitress because they love it.
Oh, name one person who's a waitress because they love it. Well, I don't know a lot of waitresses on first name basis, and I don't know a lot who have become like worldwide famous. I do know there's a lot of clips that went viral of like that restaurant where they insult you and treat you like shit on purpose. Like I'm sure those waitresses, like, on the one hand they hate their job, but on the second hand, like, you literally get to just go around insulting people and treating them like shit. Like, that looks like fun, and then you get to go viral for it. Like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Now, I do know that when I've been in bars, some of the waitresses look like they're having a pretty fucking good time. And when I've been in restaurants, granted, I understand. Like, there's a certain level of acting that working with the public, like, it gets you better tips. So you just put a smiling face over your, life falling apart. I get it. Hans Diamondball. And by the way, sorry, I didn't properly toast you, Hans Diamondball. Cheers and welcome. Hans Diamondball over on Rumble. Good seeing you here. Good seeing you. And then Sangolin A6 says, I am. If you're not trying for a job that requires a license, college is pointless. Yes. Yeah, and Sangolin says, yeah, that's the alcoholics. Yeah, the alcoholic bartenders. Yeah, they have a lot of fun. And waitresses. Yeah, they have a lot of fun.
I'll wait. I'm sorry if that sounds insulting. If you are in the service industry and it's your passion, I love that for you, babe.
Okay.
That's not the way it is for most of us. Okay.
Well, yeah.
And I do want to be a beacon of light or hope for those of y'all.
But let's face it. If you're that busy and you're that miserable, then you're probably so busy that you're wallowing in tips. You're taking home a shitload of tips, unless you serve in communities where people don't tip a lot. But yeah, I mean, you're probably wallowing in tips that you're going to make way more per hour doing that than you would in your other career. So, beacon of light or hope for those of y'all who are in college,
who are in like college, and you want to see how post-grad life is and how good it could get. Right now, it sucks for me. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Oh, if you could help me get out of the service industry.
She admits it. She has no idea what the fuck's going on. She probably had no idea before she went to college what the fuck was going on, and just assume, she just followed her friends, right? Just, that looks interesting, I'll do it too. No independent thought.
Please let me know, because I'm about to be stuck here for real.
Yeah, you're already stuck there. You're in denial about it. You're already stuck there. You're just in denial about it. And granted, look, fucking get on YouTube, learn how to do some plumbing. Plumbers make a shit ton of money. The problem is you're in people's cockroach infested houses, getting under their sink that's full of fucking mold, and yeah, you got to change their leaks, but you'll be making a shit ton of money. She's talking about waitressing as if the service industry has this unique suck about it that literally 90% of entry level jobs don't have. But yeah, 90% of entry level jobs all suck. The idea is you use them to gain skills, to gain work experience, to gain resources and references, so that the next job that's just a little bit better, right? As Sangland 86 said earlier, McDonald's, right? You start at McDonald's, right? You work at McDonald's long enough to get a reference or to get weekends off. Then you use that to jump up to Red Lobster, at least the ones that aren't closed yet. And then Olive Garden. Then once you've been at Olive Garden, right? And you know how to do the whole pouring wine over the napkin, and once you've learned things and figured out your shtick, well, then you go to the nice restaurant in your town, the big 5-star, 2 Michelin star chef restaurant in your hometown, and you work your way up. Now, granted, that's not for everybody, but the same thing. You got to start somewhere, and it's gonna suck, but eventually you make it better. You make it better. Okay, so again with the women yelling in cars, hey, showing off the plumber's crack, says Kevin in ABQ. Yeah, these ladies should show more plumber's crack. I agree. So once again, ladies yelling in cars. Now, again, some of these videos I show because I don't know how old some of this content that gets reposted to Twitter over and over again is. But I saw at least 2 accounts posting this. Both accounts tend to post older shit, but I think this is new because of how quickly it's kind of gone viral. Because I saw people reposting, But this is going to be an interesting conversation because yeah, fun time. Wait a minute. Sanglet says aim for the steakhouse with the liquor license. Oh yeah. I have a former a family member formerly by marriage, who definitely made a lot of money at a local steakhouse that sold a lot of liquor. They were one of the only places that had Sunday booze back in the 80s. Anyway, so here we go. Let's see what this woman has to scream about in her car.
To go down on me. It was so confusing. So I asked him, I was like, well, what is it about it? Is it that you think I don't want oral sex? Is that you think maybe you want some pointers or tips, or is it not your thing? And he was like, it's not my thing. So then I was like, well, I guess you're not my thing. And I ended the relationship. Now, there were some other things going on, but let's just say this. If you think, well, my partner doesn't reciprocate oral.
Or maybe your thing wasn't his thing, right? Maybe he was just being nice. Maybe you had a little weirdness down there. I don't know.
Sex, and maybe maybe we could figure it out, or maybe there's other things that we can do. Listen, if you're somebody who loves oral sex, receiving and giving, well, I think this is an area that you just cannot compromise. If someone's not going to go down on you and return the favor, then maybe they're not your thing either.
Okay, so this is clearly an individual who's so focused on one aspect of her life. Something missing clearly from one aspect of her life, that she's willing to forgo the possibility of everything else. And look, maybe I'm projecting that to some degree, because we don't know how nice this guy was otherwise. But this advice that, oh yeah, this thing is uncompromisable. Look, I refuse to believe that there's anything that's uncompromisable except for maybe just being a good fucking person, right? Like that's a need. Hey, we got Bill Dozer 74 over on Rumble. Cheers and welcome, Bill. Good seeing you in the chat. Good having you by. I'm not drinking whiskey today because got some errands to run after the show. Anyway, so yeah, I got this new watch. This new watch for Donald Trump's birthday yesterday, and I got a new bottle of whiskey and had some barbecue pizza. Yeah, Donald Trump's birthday is a big thing in our household. So shout out to Donald Trump. Happy birthday, Donald Trump. Okay, so we're going to continue in the Women in Cars segment with one more viral video.
You want to know something kind of sad and messed up that happens in your 30s that people don't really talk about? God, my friends are going to think I'm talking about them specifically. I don't have anyone in mind. This is
so the fact that 9 seconds in, you've already said, you know, my friends are going to think I'm talking about them. Well, okay, so either those are the people you observe on a daily basis and have opinions about, or not. You know, this is the thing. You're the one who is sharing your online media presence with your friends and then having opinions about observations you've made about relationships, and then wonder if your friends will think you're talking about their relationships. Okay?
very general. It's that you'll start to see people get married to whoever they're conveniently dating at the time when they feel like they should be getting married, but it's not the love of their life. Like they're not madly in love with this person.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God, the perfect partner fallacy. Okay, so now look. Again, with the average disclaimer, I do not promote polyamory as something people should be doing, but this argument she's making to me is one of the biggest issues I have with our society having monogamy as like this pedestal ideal, because everything else is correct. Everything else, yes, monogamy 100% better. But this idea that there's this perfect soulmate partner for everyone, and if you just wait long enough, right? It's not about just meeting people, figuring out if they're a good person, finding good qualities, finding compatibility, and like actually loving them for the person they are. No, Prince Charming one day is going to walk through that door and just put a fucking glass slipper on your foot, and everything will just be magical and perfect. Ugh. This don't settle. So like the last lady, if a guy won't lick you on the little nub in your pants, then just call it off. Just run away. And now this woman, it's not the love of your life. Well, how do you know what the love of your life is? Let's find out. Let's find out how she knows whether or not something's the love of her life.
This person checks off multiple boxes like that.
Oh, hey, yeah, Kevin and ABQ has a good point. Hey, if y'all could take a moment and just click that like button. Appreciate it.
They're kind, they're good looking, they have a decent job, they want kids, they're nice to my dog. But as far as that carnal attraction, that spark, compatibility, that chemistry, it's just not there. They're not turned on mentally, emotionally, physically.
Okay, so, you know, I've given my little theory, and we got Salty saying over on Rumble in the chat, cheers and welcome. You mean some chick's not going to come in my life and put a glass slipper on my foot? That's cute. How about a back rub? Let's start there. How about dishes? All right. And then Sangla says, got to whittle that foot down so the slipper fits. And then Salty Saying says, know what a mop is, sweetheart. Yep. Okay, so look, I've had this opinion for a long time. I've shared it on the show before. I'm just going to reiterate it real quick, right? There's no such thing as a perfect partner. The best you could hope for is you know, almost like D&D stats. You can like make like D&D stats for the relationship, and let's say you got a scale of 1 to 10, right? You got three main traits of the relationship, right? You have the passion for one another. This what she's talking about, this chemistry, right? This passion, this, when I kiss you, I get a heart on, you know, this, when we take our clothes off, like we feel this just spark, this electricity, right? You have that, like, and to most people, that's a must. Like the previous chick, that's like a must. But like, it doesn't need to be 10 all the way, 10 all the time. It can be 5 sometimes. It can be 4 sometimes. Okay, so you have your passion, right? And then you have the second quality, friendship. All I mean by that is, like, are you both into going on walks? Are you both into hiking? Are you both into watching the same shit on TV? Because quite frankly, look, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, my partner and I, we don't really like the same shit. She doesn't read comic books. She reads actual books, like mystery novels. And we don't really like the same stuff on TV. Now, there are some movies we both enjoy. There are some things we both enjoy. We both enjoy hiking. We both enjoy walking. We both, there are a lot of things in common. But let's face it, there are a lot of things that are really fucking important to each of us that we just don't need to include. So there's this whole friendship compatibility aspect, and we're not at a 10. So you don't have to be at a 10, but you have to have something there. And then the third is life goals. So you got to have this compatibility. Like if she works days and you work nights and you just never see each other, or if she believes in abortion and you don't, and you kind of got to tiptoe around that a little bit, you might be able to make it work, but probably not. But maybe if you're literally so polar opposite, or have different ideas for where you want to be in 10 years, that relationship's probably not going to work out. So there's that compatibility. So you got your passion, you got your friendship, and then you have your life goals compatibility. Those are the three major traits that kind of make up compatibility in a relationship. And like I said, they all don't have to be 10. You can settle a little bit, but you got to be a little compatible. Okay, so here, let's go back to the chat here. I've kind of been on a little okay, so Hans Diamond Ball says passion means bad boy energy, not so much. Holy crap, man. Chat's been rolling. You folks are awesome. Okay, Salty Sand says, you're not 110 perfect. You can't shift with my ever-changing demands. Supposed to have ESPN5 and be able to read mind. The way that's a men's version of ESP. Salty Sand says you have to beat them over the head. You have to beat them into submission over the years. This says a large club. She gets here with the frying pan, you're screwed. Oh man, Salty Sand. Hey, we got Cool Frog over in the chat on Rumble. Cheers and welcome, brother. Not drinking whiskey tonight. I was on Cool Frog's channel last night, and I had way too much whiskey, man. I was out of it. I was celebrating Donald Trump's birthday hard last night. And then Kevin and ABQ says she wants all the legs of the stool should be lucky to get one when the music stops. Yes, that's the important thing to take away here. So in red pill philosophy, and part of the thing that drew me to this video is this video was actually also reposted by Pearly Things, right? And she just said Alpha Widow. And yes, what Kevin and ABQ just said, yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about an Alpha Widow. Because if you're lacking in one of those areas and she's ever dated a guy who has maxed out that area for her, like, she's always going to compare you to him. And that's what's wrong with this lady.
Almost love this person like a family member. And when you're in your 30s, you're at this age where even if you don't feel that, it's not really worth it to break up, because then you feel like you're starting over and you have to date. All of your friends are already like getting married and having kids, and you feel like you'll be like a...
Oh shit, we got Salty saying getting hit on by a 20-year-old hottie today. Man. Whew. Before too long, you're going to be like old Bill Belichick, man. Bill Belichick. See the story earlier in the stream for context.
few years behind. They pop the question, they get married, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, no judgment. These people will probably be married for 50 years.
Okay, so that's a success. That's a successful relationship. Those are people who have learned how to prioritize what's important.
White picket fence, all of the above, it just won't be that fun. They're friends, they're just not lovers. I mean, I've seen it in like different friends' parents, even growing up. It's like sit in separate rooms every night, watch their separate shows, go to bed at different times. Might even sleep in totally different rooms. I know my parents did for a time. They don't laugh together. They're not like snort, pissing their pants, laughing. There's nothing wrong with it. I think for me, is I know what it feels like to be with someone who doesn't really get me. And I've been in relationships where like I'm laying there with someone, but I still feel alone.
Okay, well then okay. Bulldozer says, there you go, saying. Cool Frog says, watch for the Adam's apple. And Salty Sand says, that's why you chain them to the radiator. It's a real woman and not a dumb bimbo. Okay. All right. So yeah, I understand the things she's talking about. She's talking about how, again, that first leg of the stool, so to speak, that passion seems to be missing from a lot of the people she's talking about. But here's the dirty little secret. Is, yeah, you saw it in your parents, but for most of these couples you're talking about, you don't know what's going on when the kids leave, right? You don't know what's going on when you're not in their house. I've seen some shit, right, from some people that you wouldn't think are down that way, and they're down that way. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not talking about some Nick Rekieta shit, but just sometimes you find out shit about people.
And I think because I've come out on the other side of that, and I do really feel like I have that like Hallmark movie, like The Notebook love. I want that so badly for other people. You can't say anything. It's not like if people get engaged, you can be like, are you sure? You guys don't really like each other that much. No, you just go with it, you celebrate them, and it's not your life. God, I have people in my life that are probably sitting there like, is she talking about me? Fuck her.
Okay. So yeah, and I'm sure like every relationship you have ever been in, lady, someone has looked at you and that person and been like, what the fuck? Like, this dude doesn't have a job. But she's like, oh my God, he eats my pussy so good. I mean, you don't know. You don't know why two people are so attracted to each other. You could not know. And you don't know the chemistry or what people see in each other. And I know it gets frustrating. It gets real frustrating. Especially like these incel friend zone guys, right? When they see this perfect woman who's like, you'd be perfect for me, and I'd fucking earn all the money and just throw it at your tits. And yeah, you're fucking dating losers like that don't even look as good as me. Why? And then you find out, oh no, they actually do have a lot of compatible things, just not when other people are watching. Bulldozer says, clip it. I'm not sure. Not sure what part he wants to clip. Salty Saint says multiple restraining orders. Hans Diamond says, I know these girls, they want to be choked out until they're close to death. Oh, they're broken. And then Salty Saint says, all because they had a dream you're cheating. Yeah.
I don't have anybody like in mind specifically. It's a thing that happens. And I do wonder, like, if this video blows up, I wonder if people in the comments will say, yeah, I was married for 50 years and the whole time I was thinking about
you
someone
will definitely
else or wishing that I had.
My ex-wife would be the kind of person. Now, granted, I wish her the best. I wish her peace. If she sees this, I love you for all the years we spent together. I wouldn't change a bit of it, except for maybe the drama at the end. But, I wish you the best. But I would say, my ex-wife would say, yeah, we weren't. I would disagree. But yeah, in retrospect, she'd be like, no, we should have had more passion. We just didn't have that compatibility. Yeah, we had that compatibility.
pursued a relationship with somebody that I had more natural chemistry with or whatever. Maybe people who feel like they wasted their life with someone. I don't know. I don't want to cause
Bill
drama,
Dozer says I'm
but
trans.
it's just food for thought.
Oh, Bill Dozer says I'm trans because I whispered that she would be thinking, oh my God, yeah, he eats my pussy good. Okay, so yeah, clip that. Okay, so there's that lady and her opinion, which, you know, as most single women in cars on the internet, can be discarded. Opinion discarded. Okay, so 1, 2. We're going to be heavy on the viral videos today. Let me do this. So since let's take a little break from the relationship talk for just a moment. Because, you know, we like to keep a good mix of politics and women here. When you see that ad that says just show up in the ski mask. Yeah, fucking hockey mask time sometimes, yeah. Okay, so folks, you know, we were covering the whole the scooter story where they're trying to charge the 3 kids with felonies for driving across a Pride crosswalk with bird scooters, and then bird scooters change their location data on their scooters to just shut down when you go near a Pride crosswalk. So yeah, then this happened a couple days ago in Huntington, West Virginia. Okay, so we're going to have to see if Huntington, West Virginia decides to allegedly they're investigating this as a hate crime. I haven't seen a confirmation or a press release from the Huntington police about that, but maybe I'm just behind on the news. But yeah, I was looking for that. It is a crime in West Virginia. They have made that illegal. So yeah, to deface a Pride mural is a crime in West Virginia. Bill Dozer says, F those crosswalks. Salty Saiyan was asking Bill Dozer in the chat, did you miss the Jeremy quartering stream? That shit was hilarious. Yeah, right before I went live, I noticed the quartering had a debate between a flat earther and a sphere person. It was pretty entertaining. It was interesting. So yeah, shout out to Jeremy the quartering. Pretty good content there. Gotta love debates. Love debates. Okay, now. Okay, let's get back into relationships. Yes, Hans Diamondball is correct in the chat right there. Do not put your murals in the street if you don't want tire treads on them. Okay, so one more lady talking about relationships here.
The last people on this planet who need to be giving women dating advice is men. I hate to break it to you guys, but when it comes to dating, women are the ones who have power and control.
Oh, really? Oh, fucking really? Huh. I have thoughts about this theory.
I'm the one who has so many matches that I can't even go through them. Not you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I originally ran into this video. It was retweeted by Homath, and one take he had was that you're confusing attention for commitment. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that is true. You're confusing the idea that you have options with good options. You don't have good options.
I'm the one who gets asked out so many times per week that I literally just don't reply back to people. Not you. But one thing I know about men is they think their opinion really, really matters, even when it doesn't. And boy.
No. In fact, I'm quite clear that my opinion doesn't matter. And that's kind of why I do this, is because, you know, this is a boys club. Boys talk, right? We talk about why things are so fucked up and what we can do about it, which in this case, there's not a whole lot we can fucking do about it, but continue to talk about how fucked up it is. And it's not that we're giving women the advice. And this is where the women on the internet have it wrong. We're not giving you advice. We're speaking common sense. And a lot of these ladies who we're talking to we know they're not going to get it. We know they're not going to understand it because, these women in the dating pool, they've already got this goal in mind, right? They've got their agenda. They've got the price, right? They've already marked the prices. They've already, stocked the shelves with the price tag. They already know what the goal is. And they're not going to be swayed. The business is opening tomorrow. We're having a grand opening. You're not going to sway those women. But the customers walking in, the young men who are coming in buying that product, hey, that $6.99, yeah, you can get it for $1 down the street. These women who think they want everything, yeah, the guy who can afford everything, yeah, no, you can get that cheaper and better quality. That's what we're doing. We're not giving women advice. We're telling women that your standards are up here, and you think you're gonna, no.
Do men like to give opinions in areas where they're not even experts? So yeah, I don't want to see any guys on here giving women dating advice, telling women how they should think and feel or behave on dating apps, because the reality is you're the one who doesn't have any matches. Women have all the power.
Yeah, I don't have any matches. You want to know why? I mean, I could pull out my phone and show you the women on the dating apps in my area. And like 2/3 of them are like 250 pounds or more, have the middle of the nose pierced right here, the septum piercing, and like fucking rainbow colored hair. Yeah, I'm not trying to match with those people. Like literally that's the dating apps in my area. Women my age. I could go younger, but I like I said earlier with the Belichick thing, I have nothing. I'm not really that interested in super young chicks. Salty saying, ask why would I be on those dating apps? Here's the thing. And this is the advice I had for the previous chick in the car. When I said that these women who are dating, like they already have a goal in mind, they already have the shelves stocked. I believe in socializing. There a lot of the dating apps have, some of them have the thing where you could set it to just be friends or friend zoning, whatever. I do that on a lot of the dating sites. I'm into just sitting down, buying someone dinner, having a conversation with them. Right? Bill Dozer says he's glad he found his wife early. And yes, that's the ideal. That is the ideal. I was just telling someone today who has been having a hard time dating. I was telling this person that yeah, it's really rough in your 30s and 40s because we do have this idealistic person that we would want to date, and those people just don't exist in our 30s and 40s because everyone you meet has been in multiple relationships and had certain types of trauma and certain types of commitment that has went awry, and their ability to trust and therefore be trusted. There's a lot of red flags, and we're always looking for the red flags. We're always looking for the reason to say no or the reason to hate somebody. And that's just that. And yeah. Hans Diamond says we have two choices really. Women over 25 are broken. Women under 25 are functionally R-worded. Yeah. Yeah, and so that therefore, if you don't match up when you're still young enough to be functionally R-worded and grow with your partner, it's really fucking tough.
And control in the modern dating economy, which I bet makes you feel a little insecure.
Women are in control in the modern dating economy. Okay, well, how's that working out for you, lady? You finding that Chad stud, right? You're probably taking a lot of pipe.
And so you still try and control women by telling them what to do on dating sites. Hey, ladies, don't change yourself for a guy. There's a million guys out there. There are so many men on those dating apps that you're going to match with that you literally don't have to settle. You don't have to change your preferences. You don't have to change your personality at all. Because the reality is you're the one who's going to have 50 matches tonight, and he's the one who's going to have one.
And 49 of those 50 matches are just wanting to put it in something wet. And I know, because there was a time when I was like, I wanted to be the Prince Charming, right? I was the brainwashed teenager that was like, oh no, I want a love that's going to last forever. And then that, 6 months of celibacy after a bad breakup. Yeah, I was like, no, I just need to get back on the horse. Let me find a fat Uggo to stick my unit in and get it a little wet and get back on the horse and learn how to socialize and learn how to talk, and learn how to find my confidence and my care about myself. And, sometimes it just takes running through somebody like this who you don't respect. Now, granted, I do not advise that. I do not advise a bunch of casual sex with people you don't respect. But sometimes the human personality and emotion, they just need to break out of the routine and find a new routine. And sometimes that's how you kind of fake it till you make it enough to socialize enough to talk to enough people. And again, this going back to what I was saying about why I'm on dating sites. Because yeah, sometimes you just have to talk to people. It's how you make friends. And again, the dating sites aren't to meet the love of your life on. The dating sites are to meet people who, yeah, you might wind up having something in common with, and you might get a buddy who you go to movie festivals with, and then eventually you'll meet someone you love at a movie festival. But it's just this kind of first step to get you out of the house, to get you in social circles, in social environments, to where you have more conversations with more human beings and treat them nice. Anyway, so here's Jillian Michaels talking about the political landscape of California. Oh.
I grew up here. I'm a woman. I'm a gay woman. My mom's a Jew. My dad's an Arab. I have a black kid. And believe it or not, my son is half Latin, even though he doesn't look like it. I hold a million cards in your game of woke victimology poker.
Your game. I wonder if she's talking to this woman or just the left in general.
And when I leave California, maybe you've lost your fucking mind. Just maybe. Like, when you have me running from home, maybe it's gone way too far.
What was the line? Like what was it?
Oh my God,
I guess
girl, there's not enough time.
There's not enough time. Now, great. Usually when people say that, they're like, yeah, I have no examples, but she's about to lay a couple fucking examples on us.
And I actually take this line from Bill and Elon Musk, and they're like, I actually haven't changed.
Yes.
The world around me is shifting, and I haven't moved. So some of these laws that are passing here are absolutely fucking mind-boggling in relation to crime, protecting our kids. Like, we're decriminalizing everything, which arguably I would probably be okay with, but we're not regulating any of it. Right. So it's like, okay, you're going to.
Yeah, the libertarian in me kind of agrees with that, but then like, no, we can't do the crime. Okay, I'll rewind it a couple seconds here.
So it's like, okay, you're going to decriminalize sex work, but only so women can legally loiter on the streets. Like, not to keep them safe, not to have them pay taxes, not to make them, regularly check for STDs, not to take away the pimps out of the equation. It's the like, if you made that argument to me, I'd be like, well, yes, we want, of course.
I mean, come on. You got to have the pimps in the equation, right? You got to have the pimps in the equation. Who would collect the taxes? You trust these? Do you trust streetwalkers to fill out tax forms?
I mean, I could be liberal. I could go there with you. But I grew up this way. But when it's like, oh, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pass a law for LGBTQ rights so that 24-year-old men can sleep with 14-year-old boys and not have to register as a sex offender because it's just not fair to the gays. I'm like, what? It's what? Like, I don't know if you saw that one. That was like, I think early 2020 when they passed that law. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if a 24-year-old man touches my 14-year-old son, I will get a gun and take matters into my own hands. Yes. Like, are you fucking kidding? Or the fact that a 12-year-old child can be put on off-label cancer drugs.
Ooh. So, again, look, let me just say, Jillian Michaels, as an older lady, still, like, she tried to fight the obesity epidemic in this country and tried to do it through the Disney mainstream media fucking giant. Like, she tried. But ultimately, this is where we wound up.
To irreparably change their body. Again, if my son came to me and said, Mom, my daughter, I think I'm trans, I'd say, okay, like, you want to dress this way? You want me to call you whatever the heck you want me to dress? Fine. Explore it. I love you. I'm cool. Like, do you, as long as we're safe. But we're not changing your body until it's fully developed. I'm sorry. Conversation's over. Can't get a fucking tattoo.
Exactly.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
It's
California.
insane. Like, I just can't. It's madness. It's madness to me. I could go on and on and on, and it's madness.
Okay, so yeah, California is definitely it's modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. We see the living example of a tolerant society. We tolerate so much. Okay, so real quick, let me do. Oh my God. Stupid fucking virus update thing. Am I still live? Please let me know in the chat if I'm still live. That my fucking antivirus does not like Rumble Studio. Okay, let's try this one more time here. Gonna do the crackers and cheese segment. Okay, so Kevin ABQ says, yeah, here we go. Salty Sand says too much porn. Okay, so we'll share this instead. This is the crackers and cheese segment. White people doing wholesome shit. White people doing wholesome shit. Here's crackers and cheese. He tried to move his pin so he can mold more up. She's like, I took the screws out. And there we go. There's the kind of passion I was talking about earlier. That's the kind of love that we're all looking for in the world. That's the kind of love that we're all looking for in the world. So the kind of love we're not looking for in the world. Earlier we were doing a little judging of good old Bill Belichick and I wasn't judging him too harshly, but you know, some people on the internet are judging him harshly. We do a segment here on this show called Love Does Admonish, where we watch a segment of a program called Love Don't Judge, where it's an internet show where people don't like being judged for who they love. And so here on this program, we watch this to determine whether or not there's some righteous admonishment here. And so today we're going to do My Hot Wife Isn't With Me for a Green Card.
It's Scott. He fell in love with Divine after she messaged him out of the blue on Facebook.
But I read over her message and it seemed very sincere. So I'm like, what the heck? I'll just go ahead and respond. And
oh my God, this is Beavis. Look, shout out to the dude. Like, I actually think he's kind of cool, but like, come on. Well,
So
I
we're
mean,
like,
I don't know. I guess
sense for
time will show whether or not he's actually cool. But I mean, usually dudes who look and dress like this, like, they're friendly.
almost 4 years.
Scott decided that Divine was the one and wanted her to come and live with him in America.
And I'm just like, Divine, will you marry me?
Yeah.
And then she was just like freaked out.
Yeah, you can't just not do it whenever you have something this special. So
But not everyone believed that this relationship was real.
Poor reason.
guy getting played.
She's
Kevin and ABQ says, congrats to the nerd who got a hottie. You know, and that, I mean, look, she's a little nerdy too, it looks like. I mean, she's got a rockin' body, but I mean, she's got the braces and she's got this kind of weird smile, but you know, they look right for each other to me. This does not look like a some of these Love Don't Judge where you got a chick that looks like you know, Pamela Anderson in the 90s, like not Pamela Anderson today. Have you been seeing this Pamela? I should have covered it on the show today. This Pamela Anderson photo controversy where, yeah. Anyway,
just here for a green card.
God.
So we met on Facebook, actually.
I accidentally added
Red hot
him,
sausages and eggs.
then because I was looking for a different person. I was working in a call center. I kept getting angry American customers, and then somebody just started calling me, and he had this very calm voice, and he said, "I really need your help. I'm just gonna need to
Okay, so look. Is anyone else getting this chick's 50 years old but had work done vibes? Is it me, or does she not sound and her mannerisms just remind me of an old lady? I don't know. We'll find.
refund it." So I said, "Okay, I can refund it to you." I said, "Oh, you made my day. You know what?
Hey, we got Demon's Wrath over on Rumble.
This is, you just kind of
Got Demon's Wrath over on Rumble. She looks like a mirror. Yeah, she is. She is shinier than my new watch that I got for Donald Trump's birthday. Shinier than my new watch. Cheers, welcome, brother. Billdozer says he still would, though.
make me feel better. So after that, I was just thinking, let me just check him. And then I thought it was him. So I added him and then sent him a message saying "Hello, this is me that you spoke over the phone, a little bit blah blah."
It's who? It's there's this pretty girl messaging me on Messenger, and I'm just like,
I don't buy it. I don't think this story of she had a customer and she was trying to find that particular customer, I don't buy it. I think she may, if this is about the green card thing, if there is any truth to the green card thing, I think she was just messaging American men. She's just looking on the internet for American men to flirt with.
I don't know who she thinks she's talking to, but it worked out in my favor, so I was extremely happy, and we just started chatting.
After a
That's
few
very
months
true,
of
Hans.
being exclusive online. Actually, I was the one who asked him.
It's
I remember that.
so when do you want to come visit me?
So, when are you planning to visit me in person?
I made it to go see her. And that was the first visit.
Wait, did she
in
say
November
prison or
2017.
person? Hang on.
So after
When are you planning to visit me in person?
I made it to go see her.
person. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to.
And that was the first visit in November 2017. So after the For like a few weeks of being there,
Shout out to
we had a lot of
Passport
fun.
Bros.
We went all over, kind of doing a couple of island hopping things, and then we came back and we stayed at this condo. I get on my knee, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "Divine, will you marry me?"
Yeah.
And then she just like freaked out.
You can't just not do it whenever you have something this special.
So we were like long distance for almost 4 years, and then he visited me like 6 times.
Yeah, I was there 6 times. He finally made it over here to the U.S. about a year and a half ago.
Yes, Salty's saying.
What are we doing, babe?
They think her refrigerator is
You're
amazing.
gonna dance
She's a
with me
keeper.
like a silly dance that you usually do, like doing that thing, like.
Oh, and of course, she's an influencer.
Yeah, no, we'll just
They
say,
all
like,
are.
Just make it short so that it's not like
This whole
too
show.
much.
Okay, that's too much. This is always the hard part.
How do people react to your relationship online?
TikTok being as a prime example, not very well. I mean, we have very strong supporters, but there's a lot of people that will bash us at any chance that they possibly can, even if it's just watching one video.
He's gonna die soon. Oh, he has like probably
She's
4
a gold digger. She was just here for her green card. Oh, he's rich. It's so unbelievable that she's together with me.
Here's what I'll say. I don't have a triple theater leather couch. Like, I know you can get them on the cheap from like those shady furniture stores, like, but they're the fake leather. So I mean, I'm not judging him on that, but maybe he is rich. I don't know.
There's no way that she's a real woman. Blah 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 blah. I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, believe what you guys want, you know.
So the internet
has some people that will actually try to defend
she's
us.
not
It's
a
like,
real woman.
Y'all actually so lonely, hating on 2 people who love each other.
Yeah,
because of how he looks.
How he looks.
It's like, I really love people like that because yeah, it's just like, guys,
I can
had
kind
a
of
chronic
agree.
disease for my entire life.
Ugly
and
dudes
here
can
all
still
the
be
new ones starting to
providers.
come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I met Divine, if life was pretty, I don't know, boring. It's hard to talk about because it's just like, before my life was that.
I gotta wonder though, if you're a couple, what's up with the triple recliner? You couldn't get the double one?
That total stands.
You expecting a third?
Still pretty much whenever scleroderma was extremely active. So
Oh,
I didn't. I
Bill
missed a
Dozer
lot
says
of
my
high
Stillwood
school.
comment was
I didn't
Pamela
really get to
Anderson.
go into college or anything like that because I spent a lot of downtime being sick. It's an autoimmune disease that came on whenever I was 13. Was not exactly the happiest time because they were saying that my life expectancy wasn't going to be very
Blood
good. I would
disorders.
say that I was more or less healthier probably by the time I was like maybe 22, 23, somewhere around there. And that's whenever.
Okay, well, what about the life insurance? See, now we got to go from green card to life insurance. This is like dating the old dude without having to suck an old dick, right? Unfortunately, I don't like to say that because I don't want to wish ill on this guy. I hope he lives for another 40 years. But, now we have to kind of judge a little bit what her motivations might be in that realm. Like, you have to either really want to love someone or really want to hate someone to meet someone who has one of these life-changing disorders and stick with them. So yeah, man, shout out to this chick if she's real.
Right, like decided I was healthy enough to go work and actually try to do some like normal things. I could go travel and go see her, which is what they thought would be impossible. Like they're like, yeah, you're not going to be able to fly in a plane because you're
Jim doxed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is Mr. Mediker here. Kind of sounds like him in a way.
Oxygen level is not good enough. Well, I proved it wrong,
I'm
and
just-
I flew all
no, it
the way to
doesn't.
the Philippines.
Jim
6
sounds
times.
older. Oh man, we're still only halfway through.
Babe,
Yes.
you almost ready?
Not yet.
Got a couple minutes anyway.
Give me a minute.
Hey, we gotta go meet my sister. She's gonna be there in like 10-15 minutes. Everybody's a skeptic in my family, so they didn't really know what to think, I guess, because they're more of like people that like to, I don't know, physically meet people and stuff like that before they make any kind of judgment. But like at the end of the day, it's like we waited almost 4 years for each other, and my dad still commends me to this day that like it's like you did something that not a lot of people would do, and that's something to be very proud of. It's like you stuck to it, and you got the girl of your dreams.
Hey, we got Apocryphal
Yes.
World Records over in the chat.
How did
On
that
Rumble,
work?
cheers and welcome, brother.
Right?
Yeah, Bulldozer, normal folk. But let's face it, he was never gonna have a normal life, right? He's never gonna fall in love in the internet age in ways that other people do. He kind of had to do this, and it worked out for him, at least so far. The sister's kind of hot.
So, what did you think of Divine when you first met her?
A little young for me, but
Honestly, I loved you from the moment I met you. And I think honestly,
never mind,
like
her
what I
smile's
like the
kind of
most
ugly.
about you is how you have brought out.
Oh,
such
she's
a
got the
light
nose
in
ring.
Scott.
Oh my god! See, now this is why. Yes, I'm sure she has 50 dudes in her DM box, but not me. Not me. Hey, we got great liquor over on Rumble. Cheers and welcome. Not drinking liquor today, unfortunately. Got some errands to run after the show, but thanks for coming by.
Because like I don't know, for the longest time I felt like you weren't super confident, like you were very soft spoken, and like you cared a lot about like what people
Okay, she's got a big rock on her hand, so maybe she doesn't have 50 dudes in her comments. Hopefully she keeps that feller happy.
thought. Yeah, you can see like gradually throughout the time that you guys have been
Yes, Salty saying, saving it to drink while I'm
together,
driving.
and then also on TikTok that like he's so much more comfortable.
In all actuality, in addition to the watch, I got a new bottle of Yellowstone special toasted something. Anyway, delicious whiskey.
Be like he can have fun with it, which is really awesome to see. So, what do you guys think are some pretty?
No, because knowing my luck, like I would, like if I were to ever like drink a bunch of whiskey and get behind the wheel of the car, like my kids who don't talk to me, like knowing my luck, I'd wind up fucking running them off the road, and I would never do such a thing.
Common misconceptions about your relationship.
Okay, here we go.
I'm rich. Oh yeah.
I'm rich.
Is that she's just here for a drink.
A green card.
You're waiting out a really long time for that.
Yeah, I know.
We're a fake couple, babe.
Like, oh yeah, like she's my neighbor. And she just comes over and she just does things.
Just reviews.
just reviews.
I can definitely say you guys live together.
Well, okay, but that doesn't mean the love is real, right? All of these things could be true. In this idea that she's, oh no, you're just waiting it out for the green card. No, literally people do that. Literally people do that. I've personally known people who have carried on this deception, like loved a person, like literally looked like they were the love of their fucking life. Boom, they hit that 2 year after the green card mark, because you got this little waiting window. Yeah, boom, out the door. Like there's something about American culture that these women, Salty Saiyan was talking about earlier, these women overseas who, if they get inundated with Western culture before they actually start loving you, you got to be careful, because the feminists, you can do anything, why be attached to a man mindset will set in if you're not careful. So yeah, I'm hoping she does love this guy.
Of course, it doesn't make me feel good seeing people like just bash you guys and stuff like that, especially when they don't even know you guys and how compatible you actually are. At least when it comes to like people online, I feel like they don't understand the weight of what they say.
So the only thing I can recommend to LDR couples and anybody else that's in our situation is just to have patience, because long distance is hard. and you're always going to be having to make sacrifice to, be in their life, and no matter how far away or what time it is.
Trust the process,
Yeah, you kind of, I mean, all you can do is trust, right? Hey, we watched these 2 episodes. Anyway, so that was Love Does Admonish. Shout out to these folks. I hope they're still together. I hope they're still married. So let's see how long ago this video was put out. 6 months ago. I'm pretty sure they pretty much got to be by now, right? Doubt she would have gotten the green card and left his ass by now, but hopefully it is real love. I hope it is real love. There's nothing to suggest it's not, but the internet has picked up on a lot of red flags here, right? That when he says he's not rich, well, okay, you're not rich by middle class American TikTok viewer standards, maybe, but compared to people who might be in her home country, yeah, you might be rich in comparison to people in her home country. Anyway, so yeah, that's Love Does Admonish. Thank you for stopping by, folks. If you can, one more time, if you haven't done so, click that like button. You can follow me on all the platforms down in the description. Once again, just to recap, the show started a little late today. As such, I didn't get to, send out all the shout outs to all the places that I usually do, but we still had a great crowd. I thank you folks for finding me, for hunting me down, seeing that I was live and coming in here and saying hi. Thank you, all of you, for showing up. I'm shocked because usually I got to promote the shit out of a show in order to get a lot of people to show up. But you guys did the right thing. You hit that follow button and you found me. You knew that I'm live every Saturday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central, right here, same bat time, same bat channel. You found me. So yeah, just to recap, having a lot of issues with Rumble Studio right now. It's triggering my antivirus. It's not going live to all 6 platforms like I intended. I've actually still have an active StreamYard account, so I'm probably going to be doing StreamYard, which means the chat probably won't be showing on screen. I might try to work around that. I might try to find a workaround for that with OBS or something. But I'll look into it. I'll look into it and see what I can do. But I'm pretty sure the next couple streams, not going to be on Facebook, not going to be on Twitch. I think I'm just going to go back to doing what I was doing, the 3 StreamYard streams to Rumble, YouTube, and X. So, yeah, same bat time, mostly same bat channel, 6 p.m. Central this Wednesday. Find me there. And, yeah, till next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do like Great Liquor said right here, and rub that shit in real good. Catch you next time on Miles Culture Plate. Y'all have a wonderful, lovely Father's Day. Be some awesome motherfuckers. Catch you then. Good night.